So let's talk about political parties electing our leaders. Now, just some things that I've noticed that students tend to think. I just want to take a moment to tell you about some common misconceptions. Political parties are not an official part of the U.S. government. We don't have to have the Democratic, Republican, Libertarian, Socialist, whatever parties to have a government. We just have to have, people who want to go down and make decisions. Citizens can join any party of their choosing. I guess the misconception I run into is because your father's a Republican or your mother's a Democrat or grandma is a socialist or whoever, that you have to be one too. You're perfectly free to make up your own mind as a citizen of this country and join a political party that fits your belief, or don't join any. And not all members of a political party agree on every issue. All right? You're going to find, if we just look at the Republican primary battle right now, you're going to find people who don't agree with ideas Donald Trump espouses and who like Nikki Haley better or want Ron DeSantis to drop out of the race, which I understood he has at this point. I'm recording this on January 21st, 2024. Anything. So not all, just even observing the Republican primary race, not all people agree. And John Adams, our second president, was the first member of a political party, the Federalist Party. So political parties, here's the definition that you'll see on the exam. An organization made up of citizens who have similar ideas on public issues. Very generic definition. But it's a reasonable one. This group works together to win elections and create public policies that reflect their views of society. We know Democrats have a different view of how society should work than Republicans and any other party that you care to name. So there are separate, as political scientists, we like to dig into things and probably make them more complicated than we should. They'll describe political parties as consisting of three separate but related entities. And I have some beef with this because I think this should be first, because without the voters, there is no political party. So the voters who consider themselves allied or associated with the party. And this is the party and the electorate. All right. And then, if we have voters and we have a political party, we have workers and activists who make up the party's formal organization structure, which is the organizational structure. So you'll have the chair of the Democratic Party, you'll have the vice chair of the Republican Party, you'll have the secretary of the Socialist Party, whatever. And then you have the office holders. So like right now, January 1st, 2024, President Biden, Vice President Harris, in Illinois, Governor Pritzker. The office holders who organize themselves and pursue policy objectives under a party label. So the governmental party. Now, this, again, these guys wouldn't exist necessarily if the voters didn't come out and vote for them. So that's why I think the book is a little wrong. I'll just say it. It should be the voters who always come first. Without the voters, the system doesn't exist. So we have a two-party system. If you haven't noticed. Two major parties, the Republicans and the Democrats. And both of these parties, and many others, we have, as I said, a Libertarian Party, a Green Party, Socialist, Communist, a pirate party that has to do with technology, not ships on the high seas. But both of these parties, the Republicans and Democrats, they'll work to win over voters and control of local, state, and national offices. That's what they do. The purpose of a political party is to elect people to pursue whatever that party's policy objectives. So why do we only have two parties? Well, again, this is a little bit of a disagreement with the book here. We don't only have two parties. We have two major parties. Our history has mandated, well, not mandated really, but has seen, has made it this way. We had the Federalists and the Anti-Federalists. We had the Whigs. We had the Democrats. We had the Democrats and the Republicans. I think I missed something in there, but we're just going to go with that for now. Traditionally, there have been two parties that have influenced the debate, won elections. Again, there have been more, but two parties have been major and have received more support than the others in our election system. Now, the ballot is not going to break if there are more than two candidates listed. And if you go into a voting booth, you're going to see that there is more than a Republican and a Democrat on there. But the election system right now just really supports two parties. So this is just a very generic idea of where parties are ideologically. So I almost hate using this because I inevitably have some students who think that I'm saying how this is how it is. It isn't. It's just a broad brushstroke of, we're lumping everything in together. So we're in the United States. We're over here. I mean, nobody really goes out here or out here. It's pretty down the middle. So a Democrat, and again, I'm painting in very, very generic, broad strokes. So I'm not preaching the gospel or anything like that. So a Democrat might like more spending or more government involvement, when a Republican might like less. A Democrat might favor higher taxes. A conservative or a Republican might like fewer. And I'll clear the ink here so you can get a look at this slide without my art all over it. So, like education down here, a Democrat might want educational subsidies, where a Republican might not. I don't know who's old enough to remember George Bush II, our president, before Barack Obama. He did a whole lot advocating for school vouchers. And again, just painting in very broad strokes here. I don't think that, Jesse Jackson, if anybody's old enough to remember him, was more liberal than Ted Kennedy. I'd probably put him in second place. Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton, I don't know. Colin Powell, I agree, was pretty middle of the road. But here are political figures and where they might stand. Sometimes this, if you want to figure out where you fit on the political spectrum, if you don't know, and it's okay if you don't know, you can simply Google political quizzes, I recommend I side with. And I know that the Pew Research Center has one. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. It really just depends on the semester. But I recommend it. Find out where you are. So how do these terms affect our political parties? So again, broad strokes here, folks. I'm not saying anything is the gospel truth. Democrats are more liberal. They tend to want bigger government, stricter regulations, more social programs. They're pro-choice. Typically, they want a smaller military, whereas Republicans want small government with less regulations, less taxes, and spending. They're pro-life, and they want a stronger military. Again, very generic.